Here we go. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Fly Tying Tuesdays here with Carlisle Fly and Foul. Today we're going to walk you through a little Frenchie pattern that I like to call the Disco Biscuit. It's just a really cool pattern. It's basically just the normal Frenchie, but you've got the purple eye stub hot spot and this red bead here, and the black pheasant tail for the body, and red wire for the ribbing. But just a super cool fly. Again, I like to call it the Disco Biscuit. But yeah, I'm going to jump on in it here and show you guys how I tie this. Alright, just using a size 16 jig hook, and then a 3.3 millimeter slotted tungsten bead in red from Saluda Beads, and I'm going to use just some 8/0 red thread. Start by attaching your thread to the hook there. And bring that thread back to the beginning of the bend of the hook there, and we're going to tie in our tailing fibers, and just using some coq de leon. And I would strip you off about, I don't know, let's say about 4 or 5 fibers. We're going to measure the hook shank length and tie that in the back there. Cut your excess off. Bring your thread right behind the bead. Next, we're going to tie in our ribbing, and just using UTC Ultra Wire and Brassy in the color red. Place that inside the bead there and work your thread rearward to the tying point of those tailing fibers. Bring your thread forward just a little bit. Next, we're going to tie in some black pheasant tail. In here, you're going to want to strip off about anywhere from 5 to 6 fibers there. And you're going to cut the tips off, and we're going to tie it in by the tips here. Bring your thread rearward to the tying point and bring it back forward. At this point, we're going to kind of form a tapered body here with the thread. Okay, now we're going to come in and put in a couple of half hitches here. Okay, I would come in with some hackle pliers here, and we're going to reverse wrap this pheasant tail, and you'll see why that's important just here in a minute. Just work your way up the body here, and tie that in. Snip it off close and do a little bit of a cleanup there. Okay, now we're going to wrap our wire And the reason you want to counter wrap your pheasant tail instead of your wire is because it's much easier to tie in this wire the same direction as your thread. Tie that in tight, and now we're just going to helicopter that off close. Bring your thread right back here. Now we're going to tie in some fulling mill eye stub in purple. Actually, I think this is the violet color. And you don't need a whole lot. Matter of fact, I may have too much there, but won't be that big of a problem. So just dub the noodle there and wrap your way up back to the bead. At this point, we can come in and do a 4 or 5 turn whip finish. And I like to do maybe 2 whip finishes here to build up just a little bit more of a hot spot right there behind the bead. Snip your thread off. And there you have it. That is the Disco Biscuit, essentially just the Frenchie pattern, but with that really cool UV eye stub in purple hot spot with the red bead. But yeah, you guys tie some of these up. Let me know how it works out for you. Appreciate you guys watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and drop me a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see me tie next, and I'll see what I can do to make it happen. But again, I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you on the next one.